What is up, book nerds? We're doing an NFL defensive tier list. The NFL season is just days away, so let's get into it. Number one, Cleveland Browns. They're S tier. As much as I dog on this team, they are probably the strongest team defensively. They have their edge is good. Their cornerbacks are good. They have a good secondary. Linebackers are good. They have a strong defensive coach. I don't really see them being any weaker than they were last year on the defensive side. I don't know how they fare on the offense, though. Let's see. Who do we have next? We have the Chiefs. Go through my notes. They're also S tier. They got strong DT pressure. Andy Reid is. They have a good defensive coordinator. Andy Reid is a good coach. They got a good secondary. Cornerback's not as strong as it could be, but overall, very great defense. Texans also have an A tier. They've made a lot of great moves. They have a strong edge, strong cornerback, free safety, good defensive play calling. Uh, Maybe defensive tackle and linebacker may be their biggest flaws on defense, but other than that, they have Will Anderson, they got Danielle Hunter, they got some depth throughout the defense. So I think they're actually looking to be pretty good. Let's see. The Bengals. They are 20 they're not F tier, but they may be D tier. Yeah, this I saw the TPS video and I saw that they put them in like the top 5 or like top 10 or something. I thought that was crazy. I mean, last year they had a 31st in success rate and they lost players on defense. They got better in the safety, but oh my gosh, that was rough. Next, let's do my Giants. We are fittingly also in D tier. We got Brian Burns. We got good edge. Our secondary sucks. Our secondary is not good. We are not in a good position for that. So, yeah. Steelers A tier. I mean, they got T.J. Watt, who's consistently up for Defensive Player of the year in and year out. They have they have good cornerbacks. They've got probably the best edge, at least a top 3 edge in the league. Their back 7, maybe not the most consistent, but other than that, they're pretty solid. The Colts, I'll put them also in put them in F tier. Part of me hates to do this because I mean their D line is better than a lot of people say it is. Their back 7 is absolutely horrible, but they did make a lot of moves to help that defense out in the draft. They got Liatu Latu, they got Juju Brents, which that should help, but they're also rookies, so I can't expect too much out of them in their first year. And let's cut to their fellow member of the AFC South, the Titans. I'll put them in B tier. They got a strong defensive tackle duo, strong cornerbacks. Linebacker is a question mark, but they did get L'Jarius Sneed, so that should help them out a lot. Fitting, I also put the Falcons. They're in kind of a similar predicament. The Falcons did just get a lot of help with Matthew Judon and Justin Simmons. They did lose a couple people, but they do need. Part of me think they should have gone defense instead of going Michael Penix win now mode. But this defense, it's better than I've been saying that it is for most of this time. The Raiders, they are a surprisingly good defense. I'll put them in also in B tier. This team has another top 3 edge, Max Crosby. They got good defensive play calling. They got DT. They need secondary help, but other than that, they are pretty solid. See the Eagles. This team defensively, they've gotten worse in my opinion. but they're just B tier. In previous years, they would have been S tier. Their cornerbacks regressed greatly. They had one of the best cornerback duos a couple years back. That's now not great. One of the biggest strengths, now a weakness. But they did get the first 2 picks to get corner, so that should fix the problem. And they got great defensive play calling. They got great speed on the defensive line, so that should help them out. Next up, Lions. Also A tier. They have a good secondary. They got good edge. They got a lot of great young talent. They need help in linebacker, but they have been trying to address that in recent years. Hopefully that works out for them. Packers, another team in B tier. They got good secondary, good edge, not great at linebacker. One of the few times I'll actually say that they need more help on the defense than they do in wide receiver. Never thought that'd be the case. The Vikings. This team. I put them in D tier. They got good edge depth and they got good defensive play calling, but their cornerbacks, I mean, half of them are injured, and Kyrie Jackson died. R.I.P. Kyrie Jackson. They need depth on the defensive tackle front. They trade defensive tackles with the Texans, and then let's see, the Buccaneers. They are right there with them. They have good edge depth. They have good tackling, good safeties, good play calling. Their cornerbacks they need a lot of help in cornerback. That is hurting them right now. Let's see. We'll start the F tier a bit. Let's see, where are the Commanders? I can throw them in F tier right at the bottom here. Commanders, F tier. They're D. They made a lot of moves this offseason. Last year the defense was atrocious, but they made a lot of moves, so a lot of question marks there. So I don't really know what to say when it comes to them until I actually seen them in action. Anybody on the other side, S tier, Ravens. The NFC North is the AFC North is the best defensive division. They have great defensive tackles, great linebacker, great safety, great cornerback. Need a little bit of depth on the edge, and they lost Mike Macdonald, so that'll hurt them a little bit, but not too much. So that's pretty. They're probably the only team slightly worse than they're slightly worse than the Browns. I'll say that. C tier, let's knock in the Dolphins. I mean, they got Jalen Ramsey. He's a standout. They lost. They've been very injured in recent years. Let's see. They got Fangio. Oh wait, did they lose Fangio? Brain fart moment. So they just got Chop Robinson. They're consistently injured, and that is a big concern. Jets, another S tier. They have Sauce Gardner, one of the best cornerbacks in the league. They're good at stopping the run, but they need more depth on the edge. This team has been constantly weighed down by horrid offensive play, but Aaron Rodgers fixes that. The Niners, I'll throw them at the bottom of A tier. I thought I'm putting them S tier, but then I look back. They got standouts. They got Fred Warner. They got Bosa. They need help in the secondary and the depth. They need linebacker depth. Let's see. This is a team that they're not as good as the sum of their parts. They literally had to get a new defensive coordinator after the Super Bowl. That was probably a big reason why they lost. Was was a lot of their plays, also just the fact that they are consistent chokers. Let's see. S tier also throwing the Bears. I mean, they got this team also dogged on a lot. Feel kind of bad for that, also kind of not, because they are my least favorite in the NFC North. They got Montez Sweat. They got Jalen Johnson. They got Tyreek Stevenson, Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Baker, Tremaine Edmonds, Kevin Byard. They got a lot of help, and hopefully this will help them out. So let's see. Let's knock out the Cowboys. But I'll also put them 8 here. They got CeeDee Lamb. This team, they got great defensive play calling. They can't stop the run, and that's hurting them. I'll throw 2 teams in F tier. Cardinals, Broncos. Both horrid. Cardinals, everything is just bad. Everything's bad. Broncos, they got the best cornerback in the league. They have nothing else on the defensive side of the ball. Then we got the Rams. Let's actually lump together the 2 LA teams. Let's see. Chargers and the Rams. And we'll move Bengals up to C tier. Both of these teams, the Chargers, another surprising, the TPS threw them in, was I think third place. Thought that was absolutely ridiculous. They got some stars. They got some newbies. They got the inferior Bosa brother. They got one of the best defensive minds in their coach. And then the Rams, another great best defensive minds. But they lost Aaron Donald, and that's going to hurt a lot. That is going to be a pain to fill that spot. Let's see. And to round out F tier, the Panthers. I know there's some stat that they were like number 1 defense. That was absolutely ridiculous. They were horrible at generating pressure. They got penalties. And Jason Horn really needs to live up. He's a player. He was one of the first players that actually recognized who they were. Weird story, I know. Yeah. And the Saints, C tier. They're old. Basically, I'll say about them. Then the Jaguars, horribly docked. I'll put them in A tier. They were horribly docked by TPS. They got great edge, free safety. They got Josh Allen. I forgot what his second name is now. But let's see. And then we got let's run up the last 3. Patriots. I gotta say this team is. They were always such great defensively, and he has also said they were also an F tier caliber team, but I'll put them in B tier. They still have great run defense, great defensive tackles, cornerback 1. But I don't know how they fare without Bill Belichick. That is a huge question mark. And then the Bills, mid. I'll put them in C tier. I don't know, because they've consistently been their bread and butter, but they lost like half their defense, and the other half is injured. And they got the Seahawks all around the mountain, C tier. They got pretty good defense. They got the Ravens defensive coordinator, but they need better linebacker. And I'll round it out. Thank you for watching. I hope you like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification to be notified when I upload next. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.